Names in the Bible are more than mere identifiers. They are profound reflections of character, destiny, and divine purpose. Just as our names shape our identity, the names in the sacred scriptures carry weighty meanings that unveil the essence of those who bear them. Consider Jacob, whose name means heel catcher or supplanter. This significance is etched in his story from birth, where he clung to his twin brother Esau's heel, foreshadowing a life marked by strategic actions and the eventual supplanting of his brother's birthright. Genesis 25:26. Abraham, originally Abram, experienced a transformation when God renamed him father of a multitude. This change symbolized the promise that he would become the patriarch of many nations. Genesis 17:5. The unfolding of Abraham's life validated the profound meaning encapsulated in his name as he emerged as the spiritual father of a multitude. Even a name like Jabez, meaning pain or sorrow, speaks volumes. Found in 1 Chronicles 4:9-10, Jabez defied the ominous connotation of his name. He turned to God in prayer, seeking protection from harm and sorrow. God not only granted his request, but revealed that a name's destiny is not predetermined, and divine favor can transcend its meaning. Just as these names intricately weave into the narratives of biblical figures, God's names too carry a significance that defines his nature. In this exploration, we will delve into the majestic names of God, understanding how each one reveals an aspect of his divine character and purpose. Let us embark on this journey of revelation and awe as we uncover the profound meanings behind the names that identify the Almighty. Yahweh. The name Yahweh holds profound significance in the biblical narrative, representing the eternal presence of God. It plays a pivotal role in shaping the understanding of God's nature and his interaction with humanity. In the book of Exodus 3:14, Moses encounters a burning bush on Mount Horeb. As Moses draws near, God reveals himself as I am who I am, or in Hebrew, Yahweh. This revelation occurs at a critical moment when God commissions Moses to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. The name signifies God's eternal and unchanging nature, emphasizing his constant and unwavering presence. The name Yahweh is derived from the Hebrew verb to be. Its meaning, eternal presence, encapsulates the timeless and ever-present nature of God. This linguistic analysis enriches our understanding, highlighting God's existence beyond the constraints of time and space. For believers, the name Yahweh offers reassurance in times of uncertainty. It reminds us that God is not bound by circumstances. His presence is a constant source of strength and guidance. This understanding fosters trust and reliance on God's unchanging character. The concept of Yahweh's eternal presence resonates with other biblical themes, such as God's faithfulness and covenant. References to God as the I Am echo throughout the Bible, creating a thread that weaves together various narratives and reinforcing the interconnectedness of God's attributes. Believers are encouraged to lean on the name Yahweh as a foundation for their faith. In recognizing God's eternal presence, they find solace amid life's challenges. This awareness transforms their perspective, fostering a deep sense of security in the unchanging nature of God. Elohim. Elohim, a prominent name for God in the Bible, signifies the supreme creator of all. Its presence in the scriptures illuminates God's role as the architect of the universe and emphasizes his creative sovereignty. In the opening verse of Genesis 1:1, the name Elohim unfolds as the narrative describes the beginning of creation. Elohim is revealed as the force behind the formation of the heavens and the earth. This revelation serves as a foundational moment, establishing God's creative authority over the cosmos. The unfolding creation story showcases Elohim's power and intention in bringing order to the world. The name Elohim finds its roots in the Hebrew word for strength or power. Analyzing this, we understand Elohim as the Almighty, possessing supreme creative strength. Beyond a mere title, it encapsulates God's ability to shape and govern all existence. For believers, acknowledging God as Elohim brings assurance in his unmatched power. This name reminds us that the same Creator who fashioned the cosmos is intimately involved in our lives. It encourages trust in Elohim's wisdom and the assurance that as our Creator, he knows and cares for his creation. Elohim's role as the supreme creator intertwines with other biblical themes, such as God's providence and sustaining power. References to Elohim's creative acts echo throughout the scriptures, emphasizing the interconnectedness of God's various attributes. Believers are urged to recognize Elohim as the source of their existence and the orchestrator of their purpose. Understanding God as the supreme creator instills humility and gratitude, acknowledging that our lives are part of His grand design. This awareness transforms our perspective on challenges, seeing them as opportunities for Elohim's creative power to manifest in our lives. El Shaddai, translated as God the All-Sufficient One, emerges in the biblical narrative as a name that reflects God's boundless provision and sustenance. Its significance extends beyond mere provision, portraying God as the source of completeness and satisfaction. In Genesis 17:1, the name El Shaddai is unveiled during a pivotal encounter with Abraham. God appears to Abraham and declares Himself as El Shaddai, emphasizing His sufficiency in fulfilling promises. This revelation precedes the announcement of the covenant, showcasing God's commitment to providing not just materially but spiritually, establishing a covenantal relationship with His people. The name El Shaddai combines El, denoting God, with Shaddai, often associated with mountains and meaning sufficiency or nourishment. It encapsulates God as the Almighty, the one who is more than enough to meet every need. This interpretation enriches our understanding, emphasizing God's ability to provide in abundance. For believers, recognizing God as El Shaddai carries profound implications. It instills confidence in God's abundant provision, not only in material aspects, but also in spiritual and emotional needs. El Shaddai assures believers that God's sufficiency transcends human limitations, offering a source of comfort and security. El Shaddai's portrayal of God's all-sufficiency interconnects with other biblical themes, such as divine providence and grace. References to God as the Almighty Provider resonate throughout Scripture, emphasizing the coherence of God's various attributes in sustaining His creation. Believers are encouraged to trust in El Shaddai's all-sufficiency, especially in times of need. The name challenges us to shift our focus from scarcity to God's abundance, fostering gratitude and contentment. In understanding God's completeness, believers can navigate challenges with the assurance that El Shaddai is more than capable of meeting every need. Jehovah Jireh, meaning the Lord will provide, emerges in the biblical narrative as a powerful revelation of God's provision and care. This name showcases God as the ultimate provider in both material and spiritual realms. The revelation of Jehovah Jireh unfolds in Genesis 22:14 during Abraham's journey to Mount Moriah. In a moment of profound testing, God provides a ram as a substitute for Abraham's son Isaac, whom he had been willing to sacrifice. This act of divine intervention solidifies God as the provider, not only meeting immediate needs but demonstrating His understanding of our deepest concerns. Jehovah Jireh combines the Hebrew name for God, Jehovah or Yahweh, with Jireh, which means to see or to provide. The name encapsulates the idea that God sees our needs and is able to provide for them. This interpretation underscores the depth of God's care and foresight in meeting our needs. For believers, Jehovah Jireh holds profound implications. It reinforces the assurance that God is aware of our needs and is not only capable, but willing to provide. This name encourages a posture of trust, recognizing that God's provision goes beyond the physical to encompass every aspect of our lives. Jehovah Jireh's theme of divine provision intertwines with other biblical concepts like trust, faith, and God's faithfulness. The name resonates with instances throughout the Bible where God fulfills His promises and provides for His people. Believers are encouraged to trust in Jehovah Jireh in every circumstance. This name prompts a shift from anxiety to faith, recognizing that God's provision is not bound by human limitations. In understanding Jehovah Jireh, believers find comfort and security in the knowledge that God sees their needs and will provide according to His perfect plan. Jehovah Rapha, meaning the Lord our healer, stands as a testament to God's role as a divine physician and source of restoration. This name emphasizes God's ability to bring healing to the physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of our lives. The revelation of Jehovah Rapha is rooted in Exodus 15:26, following the miraculous crossing of the Red Sea. God speaks to the Israelites through Moses, proclaiming Himself as Jehovah Rapha, the one who heals. This declaration occurs in the context of God's promise to protect His people from diseases, reaffirming His commitment to their well-being. The narrative connects the name to God's act of making bitter water sweet, symbolizing his transformative healing power. Jehovah Rapha combines the divine name Jehovah with Rapha, meaning to heal or restore. This name signifies God as the ultimate healer, capable of bringing wholeness and restoration to every area of our lives. The linguistic roots emphasize God's compassionate nature in addressing our brokenness. For believers, Jehovah Rapha holds profound implications. It inspires trust in God's ability to bring healing, not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. Recognizing God as the healer fosters a sense of hope and assurance, especially in times of pain or illness. The theme of healing through Jehovah Rapha resonates with broader biblical themes, such as God's compassion, grace, and the redemptive work of Christ. References to God's healing touch are woven throughout the scriptures, showcasing the interconnectedness of God's attributes. Believers are encouraged to approach Jehovah Rapha with faith in moments of illness, brokenness, or emotional distress. This name prompts a reliance on God's healing power, recognizing that ultimate restoration comes from Him. In understanding Jehovah Rapha, believers find comfort in the promise of divine healing and restoration. Jehovah Shalom, meaning the Lord our peace, unveils a profound aspect of God's character as the ultimate source of peace and harmony. This name signifies God's ability to bring tranquility to our hearts and situations, transcending earthly unrest. The revelation of Jehovah Shalom is found in Judges 6:24 during the life of Gideon. In the midst of turmoil and uncertainty, Gideon builds an altar and names it Jehovah Shalom, recognizing God as the one who brings peace. This declaration follows Gideon's encounter with the angel of the Lord and the commissioning to deliver Israel from oppression. The name encapsulates God's promise of peace in the midst of chaos, symbolized by Gideon's newfound assurance. Jehovah Shalom combines the divine name Jehovah with Shalom, which means peace. This name represents God as the ultimate source of peace, completeness, and well-being. Delving into its linguistic roots, it emphasizes not only the absence of conflict, but the presence of a flourishing, harmonious state. For believers, Jehovah Shalom holds profound implications. It invites a trust in God's ability to bring peace to turbulent situations, both external and internal. Recognizing God as the source of true peace encourages believers to seek Him in moments of anxiety, finding assurance in His calming presence. The theme of peace through Jehovah Shalom intertwines with other biblical concepts, such as trust, faith, and God's sovereignty. References to God's peace permeate the scriptures, showcasing the interconnectedness of God's attributes in providing spiritual and emotional well-being. Believers are encouraged to actively seek Jehovah Shalom in times of chaos and unrest. This name prompts a reliance on God's peace, emphasizing the need for a deeper connection with Him. In understanding Jehovah Shalom, believers find comfort and assurance in the midst of life's storms. Jehovah Nissi, meaning the Lord is my banner, unfolds as a powerful representation of God's victory and protection. This name signifies God as the ultimate standard around which His people rally, finding strength and assurance. The revelation of Jehovah Nissi occurs in Exodus 17:15, following the Israelites' battle with the Amalekites in the wilderness. As Joshua leads the military efforts, Moses stands on a hill with the staff of God in his hand. After the victory, Moses builds an altar and declares it as Jehovah Nissi, acknowledging God as the banner of victory. The name encapsulates the idea that God is the symbol of triumph, inspiring courage and unity among His people. Jehovah Nissi combines the divine name Jehovah with Nissi, meaning banner or standard. This name represents God as the rallying point, the symbol under which victory is achieved. Delving into its linguistic roots, it emphasizes not just God's role as a banner, but His significance as the ultimate source of triumph and protection. For believers, Jehovah Nissi holds profound implications. It encourages a sense of unity and strength, recognizing that God is the rallying point in the battles of life. The name inspires believers to gather under the banner of God's victory, finding courage and assurance in His protective presence. The theme of God as a banner through Jehovah Nissi intertwines with other biblical concepts, such as trust, faith, and God's sovereignty. References to God's banner resonate throughout the scriptures, showcasing the interconnectedness of God's attributes in providing spiritual and victorious living. Believers are encouraged to gather under Jehovah Nissi in times of spiritual battles and challenges. This name prompts a reliance on God's victory, emphasizing the need for unity and courage in the face of adversity. In understanding Jehovah Nissi, believers find strength and confidence in God's banner of triumph. El Elyon, meaning God Most High, unfolds as a profound revelation of God's supreme authority and exalted position. This name signifies God as the highest, transcendent above all, and holds a key role in the biblical narrative. The revelation of El Elyon is found in Genesis 14:18-20 during a significant encounter with Abraham. Following a victorious battle, Melchizedek, the king of Salem and a priest of God Most High, blesses Abraham. In response, Abraham gives a tithe of the spoils to Melchizedek, acknowledging God as El Elyon. This name emerges in a context of victory and worship, connecting God's highest authority with his role in the triumphs of his people. El Elyon combines the Hebrew word for God, El, with Elon, meaning most high or exalted. The name encapsulates the idea that God is not just a deity, but the supreme, exalted ruler above all. Delving into its linguistic roots, it emphasizes God's transcendence and sovereignty over all creation. For believers, El Elyon holds profound implications. It encourages a recognition of God's supreme authority in every aspect of life. Understanding God as the Most High inspires reverence, trust, and awe, fostering a deeper sense of submission to his divine will. The theme of God's supreme authority through El Elyon intertwines with other biblical concepts, such as reverence, worship, and God's sovereignty. References to God as the Most High resonate throughout the Scriptures, showcasing the interconnectedness of God's attributes in guiding and leading his people. Believers are encouraged to acknowledge God as El Elyon in every circumstance. This name prompts a posture of humility and reverence, recognizing God's sovereignty in both triumphs and challenges. In understanding El Elyon, believers find assurance in serving a God who reigns above all. In contemplating the intricate tapestry of human needs, it becomes evident that God's divine attributes intricately weave into the fabric of our well-being. As outlined through the lens of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, these fundamental aspects not only represent the diverse dimensions of our existence, but also underscore the omnipresent nature of God in addressing them. Physiological needs, Jehovah Jireh. The Lord will provide. Jehovah Jireh assures provision for our basic needs, food, water, sustenance. In times of scarcity, we find abundance under the caring gaze of the Lord who faithfully provides. Safety and security. Adonai Master or Owner Adonai, our ultimate authority, secures our safety. Entrusting our lives to the Divine Master, we find refuge and protection in the loving hands of God. Social needs, Jehovah Shalom, the Lord, our peace. Jehovah Shalom fosters peace in relationships, nurturing a sense of belonging. In the divine community, we discover harmony, connection, and the peace that surpasses understanding. Esteem needs, El Shai. God, the all-sufficient one. El Shai's sufficiency elevates our esteem. In recognizing our completeness in God, confidence blossoms, and we walk in the assurance of being made whole by the all-sufficient one. Cognitive needs, Elohim, supreme creator of all connection. Elohim, the supreme creator, illuminates our cognitive journey. In seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we find our ultimate source in the boundless wisdom of the creator of all. Aesthetic needs, related name of God, El Elyon. God, Most High El Elyon, the Most High God, infuses aesthetic beauty. In contemplating God's supreme creativity, we discover the divine touch that paints beauty across the canvas of our lives. Self-actualization, Yahweh, eternal presence. Yahweh, the eternal presence, guides our self-actualization journey. In recognizing God's perpetual presence, we draw purpose, fulfillment, and direction to achieve our divine potential. These divine connections not only underscore the multifaceted nature of human well-being, but also illuminate the profound ways in which God's character interlaces with our journey, offering guidance, purpose, and ultimate fulfillment.